Well,
What's up, everybody, and welcome back once again to the Freakopotamus podcast. How's everybody doing today? Everybody's in the mood for some Prince, I hope. I know I am. Got a special one for you here today. Today, I've got Captain Randy of Prince the Tour, and I'm going to do an interview with him, see how things are going up in Minneapolis. Captain Randy, are you with me?
The real Russell.
Yes, sir.
Full circle, haven't we, pal?
Yes, sir. How are you today, sir?
Oh, man. Thanks so much for reaching out. It's great to hear your voice, man. I remember you, and I remember that tour day. We took a VIP tour of Prince La La Land, didn't we?
Yes, we sure did, and that was very exciting. I had never been to Minneapolis before in my life, and when we scheduled the tour, I was super, super hyped and so glad that we hooked up. That was an incredible tour. I'll never forget it. I'll never forget Minneapolis.
That's great. I hear that a lot. And Minneapolis is very underrated. A lot of people think we're flyover land here. But
Right.
tell you what, we're a major league market. And there's a lot going on in the Twin Cities, Minneapolis and St. Paul. And with the, probably heard of it, the Mall of America. The
Mall of America.
Mall of America. And of course, Paisley Park. And so we're not ever really low on content. And
Right.
we are 12 months out of the year, believe it or not. We do a lot of tours in the wintertime. And
Okay.
people have never seen snow before. So it's a perfect time to come to the Twin Cities, shop, Paisley
Hmm.
Park, see some incredible nature, see a ton of lakes, and enjoy
Hmm.
yourself. Captain, do the driving.
Okay. Yeah, I can't remember which month we were there. It was definitely not winter months. Um, I'm thinking probably spring. I think it was.
If I recall, we went down to Henderson. I do remember that to go see the site for which Apollonia had gotten naked in the movie Purple Rain. Do you
Right.
remember? Do you remember going down there?
I do remember going down there. In fact, let's take a look at some footage that I took while we were there, and you can kind of briefly tell us what's going on. Okay. All right. So here we are in Henderson. And what are we looking at here?
Oh, sure. Well, that's about 45 minutes south of Minneapolis. And it looks like it's kind of like beautiful greenery. So we're definitely in the summer months, right?
All right.
And this is the area for which Apollonia, the shot of Apollonia in the movie Purple Rain was shot. And it
Okay.
was down on the Minnesota River. And that's the viaduct, the train bridge. That remember the motorcycle scene with Prince and Apollonia?
Of course.
He rode the motorcycle under that bridge right there. And I'm explaining to you in your group that what had transpired that day. And you can see it clear as day. You can see the background. And a lot of people can see the imagery of Apollonia in the movie. It's hard to get
Right.
through that. Oh, I hear you.
Right.
Yeah. But yeah, it's actually the spot where the film was shot with Apollonia diving into the water. And
Right.
then look beyond Apollonia, you'll see the riverbank cutout of the sandy riverbanks and the current of the river for which it's cut out the bank.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know he says that ain't Lake Minnetonka. That was just a reference to that's where the other people had gotten purified with
Okay.
Minnetonka. So she thought that was Lake Minnetonka, but he says, whoa, whoa, whoa. She dove in. He says, that's not Lake Minnetonka. And she
Right.
got all
Exactly.
pissy, remember, right? Because she was naked.
Right. Right.
And and so, but Lake Minnetonka definitely gets a lot of love because of that certain scene. And
Right.
nowadays, we do take a lot of people to Lake Minnetonka if they wish to go get purified in the water because it's about 20 minutes straight west of downtown Minneapolis.
Okay. Nice. So do you, at that time you definitely included Henderson on your tours. Do you include that now or
You know what? Things have changed.
okay?
As Bob Dylan once said, times they are a changing, right?
All right.
That's no different with our tours. Now they've taken the Prince statue and the bench
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of memorabilia that was very, very well done in downtown Henderson because of the river, because of the Apollonia scene. And they've now moved it another half hour, 40 minutes south of Henderson, straight south to a town called New Ulm, Minnesota. And that's where
Okay.
the Minnesota Rock and Roll, or I should say, I'm sorry, the Minnesota Hall of Fame, Music Hall of Fame is. And now that's where everything is proudly staged, is inside the Hall of Fame
Oh,
in,
awesome.
in New Ulm. So we don't go down there in the same day tour. That was just recently done, in the within the last months to year,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just too far for us. Even Henderson was a drive, if you recall, correct?
Yes, it was.
But it was worth it. It was just on the edge. But now that it's another half hour to 40 minutes further south, it just
Mm-hmm.
doesn't our mold of a 3 hour tour, if you will.
Okay.
And so that would be a different event, a different tour to go all the way to New Ulm to see that stuff of Prince. But definitely worth it. But it's just another.
Definitely worth it. I feel really privileged that I was able to get to see the statue before all that took place. Yeah.
It was really a great statue too. Do you agree?
Oh yeah. I mean, it was spot on. I mean,
Hmm.
it was amazing. I think it was a statue of Prince in that Raven to the Joy Fantastic era. I think it was like the early 2000s with the long hair.
Correct.
Yeah, it was a
And,
nice statue.
and they had the height. The height was right there, and
Yeah,
it was fantastic. They did a wonderful job on that statue.
right. So originally it was there in Henderson outside, and then didn't they move it into the antique store as well at one
They
point?
did. Yeah,
Okay.
there's an antique boutique store in downtown Henderson. Beautiful, charming, quaint boutique store owned by some very lovely people. And it's
Mm-hmm.
called Heart of Henderson. Heart of Henderson is the name of it. And they really partnered with the people that took care of the garden and the statue and the mural and all that. It was staged beautifully. And
Mm-hmm.
all that looks like Mayberry RFD. Doesn't that
It,
kind of make it fitting?
yes, it does.
And
It
it was
does.
just a wonderful little place. But then, things changed. I guess there was a building owner that didn't want some of the hustle around his new asset. So
Right.
he asked people to kind of think of a different area for which to stage everything. And I
Mm-hmm.
think he did by moving it to the Hall of Fame is perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's inside, climate controlled. The statue won't get weathered, and people know
Mm-hmm.
that when it is open for business, that you're going to have a temperature and a weather controlled facility for which to enjoy your day.
Right. So didn't they hold some other events in Henderson as well regarding Prince, like
Yeah,
an annual?
they would do a celebration of sort
Okay.
of their own, and bring in some of the Prince's old, Jesse would come in and Jerome and some of the old cats would come in and they would party like it's 99 and on
Mm-hmm.
Friday night and Saturday night and it's also a biker town because it's right along the Minnesota River. So it's just beautiful rolling hills, Russ, if you recall, correct?
Right.
And just it's just an event down there. And they did really well with that. They just did some great marketing and getting some fabulous talent.
Mm-hmm.
And all those guys, the whole town just embraced it because it brought people from all over the world, Russell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Truly, all over the world to that little bitty town of Henderson.
I'm
That
wondering if Prince actually chose that location to film those scenes, or somebody else.
cinematographer, from what I understood, a local cinematographer from the area kind of knew of it to be kind of that romantic spot where
Okay.
kids, teenagers, we used to go to maybe make out and watch the whale races. Remember Happy Days and Richie Cunningham?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that was kind of their little spot as kids by the river, and little paths to go down by the viaduct there, and then also to every time a train would come by and toot its horn, that's a great time to what? Make out,
There you go.
right? How romantic is that, right?
Exactly.
So, and you've been there. What a great little place for young people to have a date night.
Right. Exactly. I'm going to
Just a
show some more footage right here. This is also in Henderson. You can kind of tell us what's going on here. I
uh-huh.
know what's going on, but I'll let you.
Oh, no, that's the birthday route right there. That's where Prince and Apollonia had their motorcycle ride in the movie from that area of that dirt road, and that took them all the way to the bridge, the viaduct, for which
Right.
you showed on this little clip here
Right.
underneath that bridge deck to led to the river where Apollonia politely and gracefully got naked.
Yeah. 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 Very, very cool stuff,
It's
man.
what we do is we reenact that, Russ, as you know, to the actual sound, the song itself.
Right.
And
Right. Yeah, we did. We did. I felt like I was in the movie actually. It was
good.
pretty pretty cool experience.
Yeah, that's what it was about, man. It's all about experiences and memories. And we did that with
Yeah.
many, many, many people over the years that we had access to that area. And you captured it in video, which is brilliant on your part. And
Right.
it's something you'll never forget.
Right. So what inspired you to begin your Minneapolis print sightseeing tour?
Well, that's a great question. And number one, it's just I've always been in the entertainment industry my whole adult life, and had a corporate job, but I also had a part-time job, as we
Gotcha.
called them way back in the day. And now the kids call it a side hustle, right?
Right.
Well, what I did is I started a mobile disc jockey business, and I would do weddings, corporate parties, Christmas parties, bar mitzvahs, bod mitzvahs, and pole barn dances, and did a lot of things for money back then just by spinning music and make people smile and getting people just to let loose and have a good time.
Right.
Well, then I had an opportunity. A friend of mine asked me if I'd ever be interested in doing some club work, and said, I'd be interested, but he said you'd have to audition for it.
Mm-hmm.
So I auditioned for this club in Minneapolis, and doggone it, I was blessed to be chosen.
Wow.
And so when you're downtown Minneapolis at a club back in the early 80s, mid 80s, what are you playing when people from afar, from all over the world, come to town? You got to play the Minneapolis sound, and you got to play Prince.
Mm-hmm.
So reading the crowd every night's different, as you probably are aware when you're a downtown club DJ. And of course, I'd play a little bit of everything, Michael, and all the great tunes that you play now on your show.
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, it's a lot of Prince, and that's what people
Mm-hmm.
wanted. So let's go crazy, baby, I'm a star.
Yeah.
Nikki, you got to throw some Nikki in there later at night.
Yeah. I could
And
imagine though the pride of Minneapolis right during the height of the Minneapolis sound. I could imagine how proud folks were that lived in Minneapolis at that time.
Russell, I'll tell you, it was not only a lot of pride. I was honored.
Mm-hmm.
I was just honored to represent, and people when they come to the Twin Cities and Minneapolis, that's part of the vibe. It's kind of like going to D Town and hearing some Motown, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you want to hear some country. If you go to Nashville, if you go to
Mm-hmm.
Minneapolis, look up some Prince or
Mm-hmm.
some Alexander O'Neill or some time. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of that good old music. So, um,
Bob Dylan.
but well, that's hard to dance to.
It's hard to dance to. Yeah, just threw that in there because I know he's from Minneapolis as well. Correct.
There's a bad mural of Dylan downtown, as you've
Oh
seen it.
wow.
Yeah, it's a great mural. It's a kaleidoscope looking mural. If you Google it, it's awesome.
Yeah. Speaking of murals, you took us to see quite a few murals. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, sure. There's a number of really cool murals, and since you've been here, there's even more that
Oh
they've
wow.
added. But
Yeah, I saw
Prince,
the one directly across from First Avenue.
yeah, the I forget which one you're referring to, but the 100-foot tall mural and 40-foot wide was uh just dedicated about 2022, June of 2022.
Right. I think that's the one I'm referring to. Like the 100-foot one.
Yeah. Oh, you
Mhm.
saw that?
I didn't get to see it. I saw like pictures and video. I'm dying to be there in person to see it.
Oh gosh, it is gorgeous. An artist by the name of Hiero, out of Miami, Florida, did that piece,
Okay.
and he's done pieces and murals all over the world. And it's kitty corner to First Ave, man. It is just outstanding. And at the same time, they dedicated that whole city block to Prince Rogers Nelson Way.
Right.
And then, of course, you saw the Prince Star, the Revolution, and
Mm-hmm.
all hundreds of other stars that are displayed on the exterior walls, the hollowed walls of the nightclubs. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
Here
they're
we go. Let's take a
fantastic.
look at that real quick.
There's
Here's
probably
some
about,
footage. Yeah. You were just talking about First
yeah,
Avenue and the stars on the wall there. I just thought I'd
yeah,
throw up some footage right here.
as we're doing this footage, folks don't know that that building, Russ, and I know we talked about this, but that building right there used to be the original Greyhound bus depot.
Wow.
That was a bus depot. That's where people from hundreds of miles away would come to be dropped off in downtown Minneapolis. There's the Prince Star.
All right.
It's just iconic. People from all over the world come to get that for their Christmas card.
Oh yeah. I've
God.
seen tons and tons of pictures with that stuff.
Oh, so many great memories. Ray Charles is on there. And that
Wow.
used to be the Greyhound bus depot. And then they built a new one. And then the city took over that building. And then somebody bought it from the city and turned it into a discotheque back in
Wow.
the Saturday Night Fever days. And they turned it into a discotheque,
Wow.
kind of like our version of Studio 54, right?
Right.
And so it was huge. It was just hopping. But I was a young buck back then. But on Sunday night, they dedicated it to team night, Russell. And yes, Captain Randy would go down there with my mullet and my kitchen permed hair and my angel flight pants, my silk shirt, my puka shells, and my elevator shoes. And I was already 6'3", and I was 6'6", right?
Right.
And going out there and dancing and trying to think I had some Danny Terrio moves and just living the dream on that lit up dance floor, just like the movie. And it was fantastic.
Well, I can imagine.
It was amazing. And then disco ran its course, and then they turned it into a rock club called Sam's. And then that ran its course, and then a new outfit bought it, um, turned it into First Avenue nightclub right in the
Mm-hmm.
early. And then they were at the right place in the right time when Prince came knocking to do a little movie called Purple Rain.
Little movie called Purple Rain. So this is also included in the tour, correct? First Avenue.
Absolutely. That's probably our main stop right there.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's what people want to see. They just go nuts over that area right there.
Yeah. There's Here I am. This is the spot that I wanted to take a picture. When I was there because I remember Morris Day had taken a picture in this same spot, so
That's a
I
great
had to
quote.
do it.
You did. And you got that's a great shot. Look at the sky, just a crystal clear day for y'all.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
it was fantastic. Let's see. All right. So,
That post.
approximately when did you start the tour? When did it all begin for you?
Well, it's funny, after I've been in the tourism industry quite a while, and I used to do boat tours, wine tours, Minneapolis tours, and April 21st of 2000, well, we all know the day, 2016, when Prince passed away, and
Mm-hmm.
it just shocked the world like it always does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Get where you were,
Right.
and a couple of weeks after that, a media company in downtown Minneapolis reached out and said, Captain Randy, we know you do tours and you're close to Carver County in Chanhassen. You ever thought about doing a Prince tour? And I'm like, whoa, 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 you know, and shocked me. I'm still in shock, at the time when I got the call,
Right.
and said, "Gosh, guys," and I said, "Well, what's going on?" And they said, "Well, we have a lot of people coming into Minneapolis that want to see Minneapolis's and Prince's Minneapolis, not just Paisley Park and inside the museum." And it
Mm-hmm.
wasn't a museum at that time, as you know. It took a little time to become a museum,
Right.
but people wanted to see, the kids' house in the movie Purple Rain. They wanted to see First Avenue nightclub. They wanted to
Mm-hmm.
see. They wanted to see the Schmidt Music Wall mural, for which Prince was a teenager, where he was did a photo shoot.
Right.
They wanted to see Prince's home in North Minneapolis, where him and Tyka grew up. They wanted to see, excuse me,
Mm-hmm.
they wanted to see Electric Fetus record store,
There we go, which is
and
right there.
they wanted to see everything. And I'm like, well, I born and raised Minneapolis, Minnesota. I know Minneapolis like the back of my hand. Um, I would just have to kind of dial in a 3-hour tour for people that wanted to go see stuff outside of Paisley Park.
Right.
So we started our first tour on his birthday, June 7th.
What
We had
better
a
day to start a tour?
Yep, that was the first tour we ever did. I thought, what a great way to do it. We had
Exactly.
54 people in a motor coach, sold out tour.
Oh
And
wow.
we and it was just crazy how what had happened. We took a little mini tour before that,
Mm-hmm.
um, but we advertised this one, and it was amazing. And that one we did do the Lake Minnetonka stop as well as all the other stops I just talked about,
All right.
and it turned into a 5-hour tour because there was a lot of people that hurt up and very emotional.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
A lot of emotion going on, and a lot of people saying prayers and just doing their reflection of life, and it was an incredible day. So yes, June 7th, 2016, on his birthday, is when we did our very first Prince tour.
Awesome. Monumental day to start a tour.
And his favorite number is what?
7.
7.
There you go.
June 7th, 7. Yeah.
And so your tour actually begins at the Mall of America. Is there any significance behind that?
Yeah, there is. Just a little trivia here. Um, I pitch this to people all the time because they don't know. But the Mall of America, and Russell, I don't even know if we've talked about this, but the Mall of America brings in more people annually than Las Vegas, Nevada.
Oh, well, I can imagine.
Las Vegas, Nevada brings in an average of 38 million people a year.
Wow.
If you take two Disneylands, California, plus Niagara Falls, plus the Grand Canyon combined, still doesn't beat the Mall of America. The Mall of America, and this is its just going into its 31st year now of existence. The Mall of America brings in, on average, before the pandemic. You ever heard of the pandemic?
I think so. Yes.
Before the pandemic, brings an average of 40 million people per year. There's
Wow.
550 stores inside of America. There's 56 hotels within an 8-mile radius of the Mall of
Mm,
America. And out of those hotels, there's free shuttles that go to the front door, right?
right.
What a great place to pick up and drop off for us.
Wow. Like a theme park, pretty much. It's incredible. We were inside of it, and I was overwhelmed. And what really blew me away was the fact that there was a theme park inside the mall.
Right in the middle.
Yeah.
Right in the
Who-
middle. It's just amazing what they did there. And what's funny is there's never empty retail stores unless they're just transitioning. And when you, because everybody wants a piece of that 40 million people, right?
right.
Restaurants, all that stuff are always busy. And of course, the busy season is our tourist season.
Right.
So it's a great spot for us to start our tours and to drop off our tours because of this the significance, being so accommodating for tourism, because then people can just be right there and get a free shuttle from their hotel, free parking. They don't have to worry about anything. Everything's just transportation.
Mm-hmm.
So we start there, and then then what we do is then we go to on our route. Then we go to the first stop is where it all began. That's the kids' house in the movie Purple Rain.
Yeah. Let's throw that back up one more time here.
It's 3420 Snelling Avenue.
There we go. Right there.
Yep, still the house today.
That was incredible to see.
It wasn't it fun, like the Christmas house, right?
Oh yeah. Oh
Christmas
yeah. I
story.
definitely played back the scenes in my head as I was there.
Yeah, that's it. And people love that. People love that's just a great place to start. And the background of that, without getting too detailed, is it was available in 2014. It was on the market through Coldwell Banker. Prince made an offer on it. It was on listed for $110,000, and Prince offered about $7,000 more than the asking price.
Wow.
He wasn't known. He went incognito on the phone. They didn't know it was him.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine the look on the closer and the realtor's face when he showed up for that closing? Wait, what?
He did this right before his passing, correct?
At a year and a half. Yeah,
A year and a half. Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
And so the property is in the estate's name. Yeah, and New Power NPG, New Power Generations under that label. And it needs some love. It needs some work, but it's sure great that it's still available to see and share to everybody.
Okay.
But I
Hey,
have a couple
hey,
of thoughts on what they should do with it.
yeah. Can you talk about the childhood home that's also on the tour? I think this is the home that's near Andre Simone's home in that
That is,
area.
yeah, on the north side.
Okay.
Yeah, the house you're looking at, the kids' house, is you're looking at South Minneapolis.
Okay.
And the other house is North Minneapolis, where he, of course, went to school. Andre lived about 5 blocks away on Russell Avenue. And Prince and Andre, of course, are good buddies. And, like probably you and I and a lot of, millions of other people growing up, you always had a
Mm-hmm.
second, right? Kind of
Right.
hanging out with friends and raiding the cookie jars and, you
Right.
know, hanging out in the backyard. And that's what Prince and Andre did. They were just buddies.
So the home that we're talking about, is this the home that he left to go live with Andre Simone?
That's just the movie. He never, Russell, and that's a great, great question. The house we're looking at right now is just significant to the movie.
Yeah, yeah. I was referring to the one which is now Tyka's house. Is that the
Oh,
house that he left?
yeah, that was his childhood home growing up. Yep.
Okay.
In the core growing up years with mom and dad.
Okay.
And there's actually a picture that I have on my Facebook page of Taika and Prince and mom and dad on the front step of that home when they were
Okay.
kids,
Okay.
little kids. And then, of course, Taika lived there until probably 2021. And she moved to Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And
Didn't
so
know that.
where he lived in the family home in North Minneapolis is where they lived, and nobody lives there today. So both homes are under the NPG Studios name,
Gotcha.
and so under that estate. So I don't know what they're going to do with each of the properties in the future,
Mm-hmm.
but I have a couple thoughts on it. But you got to get on my tour, and I'll share them with you.
Yeah, I don't want to tell too much. I just remember a couple of the stories that you were telling us about
Mm-hmm.
certain stops that we made in that particular home. You were telling us that that Prince bought that home
Correct.
for Taika to live in. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it was in their names, and of course he didn't need the home. So he offered it to Taika because she did, I guess at the time, needed a home, needed a place to live. So Prince just said, yeah, you go ahead and live here.
Cool.
And so it's sits empty today. It has for about 2 years. So, as of us talking today in 2024, it still sits empty. And I don't know what the future holds for it, but it does need some work. But it's just interesting just to go by where Prince grew up, kind of like the Jackson home in Gary, Indiana.
Right.
With all the kids that lived over in that little bitty house in Gary, the Jackson family.
Right.
Kind of the same type of scenario here with Taika and Prince and mom and dad.
Awesome. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and throw up this picture right here. Talk about this award, Minnesota's best.
Oh, holy Hannah. Where did you get that? You did
Some guy named Captain Randy.
a little research on us, huh?
Oh yeah, just had to
Yeah,
throw that in
you're
there.
so kind. Thank you. No, we're very proud of that award. It's our local newspaper media outlet that does annual voting on different categories, like other
Right.
cities do in their towns. And we were blessed with the award last year to be recognized as a top tour business in the Twin Cities metropolitan area, Minnesota. And we have a very unique tour, and it's we're very blessed to be able to share Prince and the Twin Cities and Minneapolis with people all over the world,
Right.
and show off the area. And Russell, if I may, there's a couple things I just want to share about Minneapolis. And
Sure.
number one, it's a people always say, Captain Randy, your city is so clean. It is. It's a
Mm-hmm.
very clean city, and St. Paul is very clean as well.
Mm-hmm.
Very clean. I'm very proud to say that. Number two, your city is so green. Well, from 30,000 feet, when you fly in, from afar, you're going to notice all the bodies of water because we have close to 12,000 lakes here, right?
Right.
And so you can get a lot of greenery with the water. So yeah, we are very green and beautiful. I call it a resort state. If you want to get away and rent a cabin, or just Minnesota rocks, man. It's just beautiful, fresh air.
For sure. For
And
sure. I
then
loved it.
what I'm very, very proud to say is, Captain Randy, your city is so friendly.
Very. I was gonna say that.
Yep. Or just and not to say anywhere everybody else lives is horrible, but I hear that all the time. Midwest values, just people are so friendly, and for the most part we are. Everybody's friendly here, and people need directions, or if you want a good place to eat, or if you want to find a good happy hour, just ask somebody, and I'll tell you what, nobody will steer you wrong. We got some great places to go.
Yeah, and if you want to grab a juicy Lucy,
Did you have one?
yes, yes, sir.
Be careful of that first bite, right?
Be careful with the first bite. Yeah, definitely.
Back off, back off. Yeah. What did you think of the Juicy Lucy? We got to do a little review here, Bubba.
Oh yeah, it was different. If you don't know what a Juicy Lucy is, it's a local Minneapolis cuisine, and basically it's a cheeseburger, but the cheese is not on top of the patty. The cheese is inside of the patty, like stuffing.
It's like a
And
chicken pie.
yeah, and it lives up to its name. Definitely be careful when you take the first bite.
It's searing hot, searing hot. And it's funny you say that. And I'm so glad had the opportunity to go there because it was amazing. Guy Fieri and Diners, Drives and Dives,
Right,
Triple D. They've
right.
done a show there, and so it's world renowned. A lot of people have gone to Matt's
Barack
Bar.
Obama, I think I remember his picture on the wall there.
Yeah, Barack and his entourage. They were there when they were visiting Minneapolis on one of their business trips. They stopped in there for lunch, and they got Barack all over the walls, and it's just a dive bar, man. But it's one
What
you'll never
what's the name of the place again?
call Matt's Bar.
Matt. There you go. Okay.
Matts. Matt's Bar in South Minneapolis. It's just a dive bar, but it's just historical as heck. And people, when they do their due diligence, they always ask me, "Where's Matt's Bar and that Juicy Lucy?"
Oh yeah, you got to go there. That place was super busy. I would imagine it stays busy.
They do over, and you've been to many local dive bars, I'm sure, in your lifetime, Russell, like I have. There's
Right.
number nothing like a dive bar food menu, right?
Exactly.
And number two, they serve what I've heard, and you probably research this, but I think it's close to 500 Juicy Lucy's a day on a small
Wow.
little grill behind the bar. Yeah,
Well,
it's a
that's
little place. So thanks for sharing that.
yeah, absolutely. I definitely that was the last thing that I asked on the tour. Okay, we're starving now. What is Minneapolis known for? And there you have it.
Yeah. Did I share that with you?
You did.
Cool. I'm glad. I'm
Yeah.
glad you took me up on that.
Yes, sir. So, folks, if you're ever in Minneapolis, if you've never been to Minneapolis, make sure you definitely hit up Captain Randy, one of the best Prince tours in town. And you do other tours as well, right? Can you talk about those?
Yeah, thanks. We do Minneapolis tours. We can make up tours. I do a lot of 5-star, 4-star, 3-star hotel VIP tours. Some people are here for a stadium tour, a sports tour. They want to see Minneapolis and St. Paul. They want to see the capital of St.
Mm-hmm.
Paul, which is our state capital of Minneapolis or
Mm-hmm.
Minnesota. And they want to see, they want to go on a dive bar tour. Um, I know this town. I know the Twin Cities, like I said earlier, like the back of my hand. It's here 3 hours. We can go 4 hours, 5 hours, but we can take a wine tour. We can take a boat ride. I actually have, and that's why you refer to me as Captain Randy Russell. Is I have my master boat captain's license, and
Awesome.
so it's just like having fun, because Russell, I think we talked about if I just said, "Hi, Russell, I'm Randy," you'd forget my name by lunchtime, right?
Right.
But if I'm Captain Randy, then it's fun. It's
That's
fun.
all I know you by, Captain Randy.
Steamboat Willie was taken, so I came up with and yeah, we do other tours. If you go to thetourmsp.com, thetourmsp.com, you'll see our tours on there, and we are really booking out now, like you mentioned earlier today. Um, the celebration's coming up. You're coming to town, possibly.
Possibly. I'm hoping so. Hmm.
Yeah. So there's a lot to do here, guys. It's an amazing city. It's an amazing area. It's just. Well, Russell, you were here. How did you
Hmm.
have time?
Oh, I had an outstanding time. I was so looking forward to it, and I was so excited. In fact, I think I told you earlier that we were scheduled to come to Minneapolis right before the pandemic, like a week out, and the announcement of the pandemic took place, and everything shut down. So we didn't get to go, and we were so disappointed. But like think it was a year later, it finally happened for us.
Yeah. And folks, since Russell, since you've been here, we've got a lot of new restaurants popping up. It seems like the mojo of the Twin Cities is coming back. There's a lot of our restaurant tours that are really tapping into the area, Minneapolis market, but especially the North Loop, which is the warehouse district.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of up where Target Center, Target Field, First Avenue nightclub is.
Mm-hmm.
There's a new hotel. There's a new Four Seasons hotel up there on Hennepin Avenue. That's by the Bob Dylan mural.
Okay.
The North Loop's got outstanding restaurants, new restaurants up there, and it's a great vibe right now. Things are starting to rock and roll, man, and it's just get on, put it on the books. Come on up and see us. Book a tour with the tourmsp.com. That'd be me. That'd be us. And let's go see some stuff, man. Let's go make some memories, right, Russell?
Awesome. So where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, social media. If you go to Prince the Tour, Minneapolis, you'll see a picture of one of our tours with probably, I don't know, 15 to 20 people all dressed in purple on the cover of our media, of our Facebook page. Prince the Tour Minneapolis on Facebook. And we got ratings on there, reviews. I'm not sure if we're over 120 or so reviews now. I'm not even sure what it's up to. But that's our report card. That's how people want to see, if they want to invest the time and their money and, just come on in and I'll show you a great time, guys, and I'll structure it to you.
Well, I highly recommend it. We had an outstanding time. I will never forget it. And I'm looking forward to returning to Minneapolis this June. And we'll definitely hit you up, maybe for a different type of tour. But anyway, I thank you so much, Captain Randy, for being here today and sharing your story and what you do. And
And
I'm looking forward. Go ahead.
Hippopotamus, let's get that too, right?
Yes, sir.
No, I appreciate you. God bless you and your family. And thanks for looking me up. And let's do this again.
All right. Outstanding. All right, folks. With that said, we're going to get out of here. Thanks again to Captain Randy. And I will see you guys on the next episode. Peace.